Hi, I'm Dr. Wendy Hill. Since we're spending this moment together, perhaps you're experiencing some kind of depression, or maybe you've had depression for a long time. You know, you're not alone. Most people have experienced depression, sometimes for a short time and sometimes for a long time. In fact, depression is so common that for some it's a way of life. But it doesn't have to be. Short-term depression is related to a current loss of some significance to you. It could be the death of someone you love, or a change in status like getting married. Short-term depression can be natural until you have adjusted, grieved, or resolved the loss or change in your life. Today, I'm going to talk about long-term depression, or depression that is a part of a repeated pattern in your life. Sometimes depression can come and go and be identified as a reoccurring thing that is related to an original cause in the past. Certain events or conditions can trigger depression. For example, being with certain people, a season of the year, or doing something you don't like. Even certain smells or sounds can trigger subconscious memories and emotions that cause depression. In order to cure depression, you need to understand what causes depression. Of course, everyone is different and you are unique. What I say here must be understood from that perspective. So here it is. Simply put, depression is caused by depressed or repressed memories and emotions, like anger, fear, grief, or shame. In other words, things you were upset about in the past, either consciously or subconsciously, are still bothering you. You have yet to deal with them in a way that resolves the problem. Perhaps you think that you are depressed about some current condition, and that if that problem went away, you would no longer be depressed. But consider this. If your depression persists, it may be because it's related to some unresolved problem in the past. You may be depressed about something that happened a long time ago that set a pattern of how you think, feel, and act. And even if the current problem went away, you may still be vulnerable to having your depression triggered by something else. Some trauma, stress, or upset from childhood may have set in you an upsetting core belief about yourself and your life that in turn created a self-defeating pattern of how you think, feel, and act. Here's an example. If you were caused to feel unworthy as a child, then you may develop a pattern of feeling unworthy throughout your life. This feeling of unworthiness is indeed depressing, hence depression. So, what can you do about this? Since your depression is likely linked to some unresolved problem in your past, and most likely in your childhood, it makes sense to go back to that problem and fix it. As the adult you are today, you have a more mature point of view about the problem than you could have had when you were younger. That allows you to see things more realistically and positively. The catch is that sometimes the original event or events that have caused your depression are forgotten, or if remembered, they have been trivialized. Depression-causing events can go back as far as the womb, infancy, and early childhood. It takes a special process to recall what actually happened so that you can heal it. There is such a process, and if used with the help of a skilled therapist trained in hypnotherapy, it can be a godsend. The process of going back in time is called regression. Using this tool offers you the opportunity to remember the original event or events that have caused your depression. It also allows you to identify and express the repressed emotions that have perpetuated your depression. You will be able to connect your current depression with the original event or events. You will be able to see a pattern of how you think, feel, and act that has followed you to this point in your life, and it allows you to see things differently. All this empowers you to change how you think, feel, and act in the present. It can help you make better, more conscious decisions about what to do in your current life. You can turn unhealthy, self-defeating attitudes and beliefs into ones that support healthy adult experience. Your depression will leave you and be replaced with a greater sense of well-being. If you would like to know more about how you can help yourself in your personal growth, I invite you to join me in a live Zoom meeting or in my office in person. Meanwhile, I am here.